But yeah, this is what I mean. It looks like it'll be incredibly fun, even if it's just for the absolutely cheesy humor of it all.
Yeah, it does look more enjoyable than I found Lego Star Wars.
Oh, did you actually play Lego Star Wars? What was it like?
The gameplay was a bit clunky for me.
Fair enough. I think you can actually say the same for a lot of the Lego games. Like, Lego Racer was okay, but it was a bit clunky, and... Well, I would talk about Lego either, but it was mostly a point-and-click game. That was... with some awkward racing, but that's about it. Anyway.
Yeah, but this I would play just for the fact that I just saw who I presume was the main character make a face that was basically, don't make me use my opera voice.
Yeah, it'll probably end up being one of those games that's good and not great, but it's every one of the titles I want to pick up. It's one of the most enjoyable surprises I've seen for the...
Yeah, I can see that. It does look actually fairly entertaining. And I like how they actually have voices this time.
Yeah, that is always a plus.
Especially whenever you're a nerd like me.
And last but not least, a game by Ubisoft called Zombie U.
Oh god, more zombie games. Do you get a tax break for making those or something?
Yeah, I'm going to avoid that like the plague. Anyway.
And you double face palmed at my one-liner.
Well, I don't do them quite as often.
Yeah, you're not the Chugga Conroy, I agree.
This is the first pun I've made on this entire program, come on.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, that's enough of the third-party stuff. We will now move on to the main titles Nintendo's hoping to leave with. First of all, there's Wii Fit U, which, yay, good for them. Unfortunately, I didn't buy the original Wii Fit, so I probably won't buy this either.
Oh, Wii Fit, or as I like to call it, Nerdsercise.
They've also announced Game & Wario, which I'm basically guessing is another WarioWare game. There are also 3 main titles they plan to center on for the launch day. First of all, there's Pikmin 3, which has been a long time coming, and I'm sure many people will be happy with that. I'm not going to comment because I never played the Pikmin games.
Let me just make one remark. I hope Steve returns.
Oh, someone's going to kill you for that.
Probably the man himself.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny talking about the Let's Players, because the next game is Super Mario Bros. U.
Of course.
Yeah, I should have mentioned, I can't believe I forgot to mention this in the 3DS segment. There are in fact 2 new Super Mario Bros. Games early at E3, which was possibly one of the most baffling moments for me. There was one called New Super Mario Bros. 2, or the 3DS, and yeah, Super Mario Bros. U. The one for the 3DS, I'm sorry, it looks so generic. Anyone who has criticisms of New Super Mario Bros. Basically being a nostalgia fest that doesn't provide anything new, I can pretty much agree with you with the 3DS one, because it's pretty much just the same game, except they have one power-up where Mario turns into gold and he can... there's like a new form called Gold Mario who can turn blocks into coins, basically like a mobile P-switch.
Okay, Mario's a walking casino.
Super Mario Bros. U, on the other hand, it looks a lot more interesting, firstly because they're coming up with new items, or at least new ways to use existing items. Like, in the first part of the game, they introduced one new power, which is grabbing an acorn to become a flying squirrel.
Well, here comes Peter again.
Yeah, although this time it's slightly more humane since... actually, no, you're probably skinning the entire thing alive. Anyway, forget I said that. The whole point...
Mario is murder.
Oh god,
yeah.
Creepy voice out of nowhere. I just creeped myself out.
Oh my god, we switched. I'm the one making the puns and you're making the creepy voice.
Oh my god. Apparently it's Freaky Friday. Or Freaky Saturday. Maybe.
Yeah, we better move on quickly. But yeah, basically that item allows you to basically gently float down from tall heights, etc. There's also the return of the Baby Yoshis, except this time each Baby Yoshi has its own individual powers. Like, one can be used like a balloon, don't ask me how that works, and another one can shoot bubbles so that they can trap the enemies as well, which is odd, but at least I like the fact that they're finding new things to do with existing items rather than just lazily putting in the standard fire flower, the ice flower, and then one item that does exactly the same as a pre-existing item, but it's made to look flashy.
So, yeah, so far we have a fat dinosaur and a Bubble Man. Oh god, we have Bubble Man.
Well, it'll be fine as long as you use the leaf shield. Wait, why is there a laser pointer on my chest?
Yeah, about that. About the whole poking fun at a guy who has a sniper for a character.
I retract my previous comment. Anyway, moving on.
Smart.
But the second main feature, and the reason why I mentioned the Let's Player aspect, since this one's going to be really fun. In multiplayer, you can have up to 4 people playing the game normally with the Wii remotes, in the same way as New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And the guy on the Wii U pad can play what's called boost mode. Basically, how it's displayed in the trailer is that the guy can use the tablet to draw blocks across the screen. So you can either form them in a path, or like a stairway, or just a single block on its own. Now, you may be wondering, what's the point of that? But here it is. Nintendo described it that you can use it in 2 ways, because they wanted to address the complaints about difficulty. Now, if you're working with someone like, say, a first timer, and you want to help them through the game, you can use the blocks so that the bottomless pits are covered up, or cut off an enemy so that they're killed by the first Koopa or whatever. So you can basically use the blocks to save them in the nick of time. If you want to make it more challenging for your friends, you can make it so that the blocks cut the other people off from power-ups, make it so that there's a wall in front of the pit you're trying to leap over.
Oh god, I already see the Runaway guys doing an LP of this when it comes out.
Yeah, it basically creates the potential for a 5th guy to make life a living hell for the other 4s. This is what I mean by great potential for Let's Players, because there is just so much fun you can have in co-op, depending on your personality. So.
Yeah, like if you're Proton Jonin or a heroic sociopath. God, imagine the death wars between him and Chugga again.
That's what I mean, it just creates so many opportunities, and that's why, even though I'm not a big co-op player, I think I will get this, because even if I don't get the opportunity to play co-op, there's enough in the game on its own, or at least enough new things to make me interested to play through it, at least.
And I would love to do a multiplayer LP of this for the Jonin Monkey channel.
Well, maybe we'll find a way someday.
Although we'd probably be much less evil to each other.
Yeah, that's true. And the final game that, well, Nintendo have announced several, but this is the final game I want to talk about. You may remember with the Wii, they released a game called Wii Sports, which is basically a tech demo showing off what the game could do, like, you know, use the baseball or boxing gloves, etc. Nintendo have announced something similar, which is a game designed to show off what the Wii U can do. And I don't know if this is going to be in a bundle with the Wii U, like Wii Sports was, or whether it's going to be a separate game, but it's called Nintendo Land.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like Wii Sports. It's a series of mini games, although this time the setting is a theme park, and all the mini games are based around Nintendo icons. So you have like a Legend of Zelda Battle Quest mini game, as it's called. There's a Donkey Kong game called Collision Chaos, although by the symbol we were shown in the teaser image, I think it's related more to the arcades than Donkey Kong Country. And there's also going to be an F-Zero-esque racer where your Mii's will be driving around in F-Zero vehicles, which sounds fun, I will admit. Not much has been said about it apart from that, maybe like a basic trailer, but basically, it's basically a tech demo to show off what the Wii U can do, but this time more centered around the Nintendo characters rather than just random sports.
I could get into that more than I did Wii Sports.
That's fair enough. And I really wish I could say more about it, but that's pretty much it. And that's all covered on the Wii U side of things, so we now move on to
Conclusion.
So yeah, the only way to conclude this section now is to wrap up all of our thoughts and feelings regarding everything we've discussed. So Sven, out of all the stuff I've mentioned, does anything sound appealing to you?
Well, the XCOM one, and Fire Emblem. Nothing from Microsoft, nothing to speak of. Sony Smash Bros. Could be interesting just because Sly Cooper.
Yeah, out of the Sony stuff, I would say the All-Star Brawl looks kind of interesting. And like I said, I haven't played the Halo series, but I followed the story, and I do kind of hope that it does something useful with the story rather than just slam it into the ground.
Well, apparently they've come up with a new enemy at least.
Well, that's a positive point. I'll be honest, maybe it's just me being a cynical Nintendo fan, but none of the whole hardware features they provided really sound that interesting. Maybe it's because I haven't done as much research into them as I have the Nintendo conference, but even so.
Well, I personally really have to agree, because the book thing sounds like a recipe for amusing disaster and making an idiot out of yourself as you try to reenact Harry Potter. Because that was the first thing that came to mind whenever you said that they actually said the PlayStation Move controller could be used like a wand. And Microsoft once again fell on its face, so I think we kind of know who won the conference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, Last of Us, I've heard it may be, quote, the best game of E3. I'm not going to dispute that, but even if it was, I don't have a PS3, and I tend to be not interested in those kind of games, so I probably wouldn't get it anyway, but, man, more power to you guys who like it. In the Nintendo stuff, it has made me more confident about getting the Wii U now. Everything on launch day I've been looking forward to, I'd say Nintendo Land, Super Mario Bros. U, Lego City Undercover, and maybe Mass Effect 3 if I have enough money, and also kind of depending on how they work out the whole Shepherd thing. Also maybe Tekken Tag Tournament too, because I kind of like it. It depends how much money and time I have, basically. But yeah, a lot of people who complain about the conference itself say there's a lot of stuff that we already knew about, but I disagree. There are a couple of surprises, and plus, to be honest, in the age of the internet, it's really hard to keep things a secret anymore, I've got to be...
Yeah, I do tend to agree with that. Plus, hey, they announced stuff that we didn't know before, like the fact that Halo had suddenly turned brown.
That is true. And you also, this may be sounding a little bit judgmental, but I think way too many people went to E3... Instead of going, oh, I wonder what new games they're going to come out with, they went in going, oh, I want to find out about this particular game, or oh, I want a new series of this particular franchise. Just looking at okay, to remind myself what the launch titles were, I've just put up a news website that showed a list of all the launch titles, and already there's a bunch of people complaining about, oh, there's no killer Nintendo title in this, oh, there are no games from Activision or Capcom. For Christ's sake, you'll have vast range of stuff like Arkham City, Tekken, and Mass Effect, some of the biggest video game franchises out there at the moment. You've got a new Super Mario game, you've got Pikmin 3, how does this not count as killer Nintendo titles, you know?
Yeah, and, no games from Activision, that's a good thing. They made Call of Duty.
Yeah, I will admit, there are one or two surprises I would have liked, but then again, it's not the end of the world that I didn't get them. I mean, yes, I would be happy if they'd announced a new Donkey Kong game, but I'm not going to complain about it. It just wasn't Donkey Kong's yet, fair enough. I don't mind, there are lots of cool games coming out in the meantime, and it'll be interesting to see how a lot of them turn out, so, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently we cannot go a monkey broadcast without a rant on fan
Yeah,
base.
pretty much, yeah. But, yeah, whilst I wouldn't call it the greatest E3 of all time, there's definitely enough decent stuff in there to make me, let's just say, optimistic for the future of gaming. Let's put it that way.
And in this day and age, what more can you ask for when everything is brown?
And so, as the storm of brown descends upon me, and the sniper Sven has is just itching at the trigger finger, it's time for us to wrap Monkey Broadcast before things get any more insane. As always, if you have your own thoughts on E3 or anything else we've discussed, or you want to fill in the gaps of any of the meager information we have, feel free to post them in the comment section. That's what it's there for. Until then, that was me, the Johnny Monkey.
And me, Sven the Crusader, opening, swallowing slowly, and ending wishing I had something to swallow.
That was Monkey Broadcast, a monthly review and discussion show hosted by the Jonin Monkey and Sven the Crusader. If you feel that you've been the subject of slander or that your copyright has been misused, please PM me and I'll try and get round to fixing it as soon as possible. We also welcome any comments, be it feedback or your own viewpoints on any of the things we've discussed. Until next month, have fun kids!